Good morning to all of you. Today we are going to discuss ethics and ethical concepts from UPSC point of view or any business point of view or from your organizational point of view. Ethics are very important and you don't need to study ethics much but you need to follow them and you need to include as many examples as you can. As we go further, we will discuss ethical concepts. What are all the concepts that are available in ethics? And we will discuss more about them in the ongoing chapters. First thing, everyone practices ethics. Everyone, everyone practices ethics, but he or she doesn't know why. You may know what is wrong, what is right from your area, wherever you are residing in your locality. So there are good or bad things are there. So you may follow good things, you may omit bad things, and you might be knowing good things or bad things. From ethical point of view, you don't know what is good, what is bad. There are certain standards are available. If you see, there are legal standards, and then there are sociological standards, administrative standards, and then field wise there is applied ethics are there. So these things, these standards help a human to progress in certain direction. Legal standards, whenever some criminal make mistake, so these legal standards keep him at bay. So and keep society safe and free. Sociological standards keep society integrated. And suppose say in society communal violences are happening. Communal violence, everyone dislike communal violence, everyone wants peace and harmony, so they condemn the communal violence. Even international community come in support of the harmony and then they condemn communal violence. This is a sociological standard. Even administrative standard, we don't like corruption, we don't like bureaucratic red tapeism, right? Where bureaucrats are using their power, they put a lot of things, right? They put a lot of restriction in order to not happen that work. This is called administrative standard. And then field wise ethics, we go to sports area. In sports, though people from suppose say cricket itself, India Pakistan, when match happens, so the sports person they follow ethical guidelines. They wish both of them, even though both the countries are enemies when it comes to terrorism, but sports player display sportsmanship and then they discuss many things. If you go to business area, there is a corporate social responsibility, right? So businesses are not to earn profit, they have to help the society also. In business area also there is a corporate ethics are there, right? Even good governance. In administration you have good governance. Even in medicine also, medical field, you have good things. There are even unethical standards, such as selling kidneys of the people, poor people, targeting them. There are many such things are there. So our syllabus constitutes all these standards and it helps to attain a knowledge about these ethical values and ethical principles. What is ethical answer as per you? Suppose say you are writing one answer to question, what is ethical according to you? What is basically ethics means good or bad? Suppose say question ask about, right, integrity. So what do you mean by integrity? As we go further, it will basically, it helps us to write answer based on these standards, whatever standards we have discussed, legal, sociological, administrative. These standards definitely will help us. See, ethics can be considered into three parts. What is right, what is right, right? What should be right or wrong, what should be right or wrong, and even what standards we need to follow on the basis of judgment of right or wrong, right? So what is right? This is the descriptive analysis it gives. And then what should be the right or wrong? This is the normative analysis. So and then what are the standards available to us to decide our judgment is right or wrong? This is called applied ethics, right? Human behavior follows different standards, right? Societal standard will be there, plus organizational standard will be there, then individual standards will be there, even general standards, general ethical standard. From sociological societal point of view we have moral standards. From organizational point of view we have ethical standards. Even from individual point of view it is a moral standards. Each and everyone belong to different religion. Each religion teaches many important things that are very powerful. So these values definitely help. This will be some of them moral, some of them will be ethical. So these things help human behavior individual. Even in general ethics also there. 60% of the time, whatever we were talking, what is right or wrong, what should be the right or wrong, what standards to make a judgment whether right or wrong. So ethics are 60% of book, right? Books teach us about books teach us about what? They teach us about theoretical ethics. But 60% of ethics, what we are going to discuss, that is beyond these books, beyond the scope of the books. So ethics is beyond theoretical ethics. Ethics is all about applied ethics. So when you apply these ethical principles in society, basically ethical principle varies from domain to domain. Now the new technology emerging, all you might be knowing, artificial intelligence. So what is its behavior on the human, right? Artificial intelligence causing worldwide losses of the jobs. These things, from point of view of ethics, these are all the applied ethics. Applied ethics evolve every day, but ethical values remain the same, ethical principles remain the same. Whatever the ethic principle, that is just 20 to 30% of the ethical ethics, but 80% of the ethics revolves and roam around these practical aspects of the ethical values. So when you discuss about ethics, you should consider all these things. Then only, right, ethical values really applied, and then you can make impact in an organization. Suppose say we will be judging a person good or bad on what basis? Based on two things. One is moral standard or ethical standard. Suppose say we will go to temple, right? This is a festival day. Suppose say this is Diwali. People eating non-veg, we don't consider is as ethical standard, even moral standard also, because this is the auspicious day, you have to pay obeisance to the god and goddesses. So this is right, not as per ethical standard, even moral standard also. Some society, suppose say Indian society, we respect our elders, and we seek blessing from them during festivals, in even during when we achieve something, or most of the time we will seek blessings from our elders. This is our moral standard. It cannot be, right. It may or may not be followed from country to country. If you go to other country, elders are not at all respected in some countries. So that is their moral standard. Moral standard may vary from time to time, but the ethical standards, they remain the same. They are universal concepts, such as integrity, justice, honesty, equality, equity, right? All these things are ethical standards. Why greediness is bad or good, why selfishness is good, right? We are moral to follow the law because law determines the law, and we are ethical principle. These are based on purely logical values. Say if you are not going logical, it is not going to be ethical, right? Basically ethics deals with human behavior, and mostly ethics deals with human behavior in three dimensions. What are all the three dimensions, right? What are all the three dimensions? When we are discussing about ethics and it deals with human behavior, we were talking about three things. One is what is good or bad? What is good or bad? What should be good or bad conduct? What should be good or bad conduct? Right? And third thing we were discussing about what should be established standards. We discussed many things about what are all the established standards. So what should be established standards to judge anything good or bad? So basically, what is good or bad? It talks about descriptive ethics, right? It talks about normative ethics, what should be good or bad, and then what should be established standards for judging whether the act is good or bad. It talks about normative ethics plus applied ethics. We were discussing applied ethics revolves around 80% of the ethical values. So ethics basically concerned with ethics basically concerned with human behavior, right? With human conduct and character, behavior, even it analyzes them, establishes the ethical principles which become basis for judging what should be the established standards. Some human behavior may be conflicting with situations, such as there are dilemmas, even some ethical issues always be there. So the field of ethics basically deals with all of them. So when we consider ethics, ethics comes under very broad area. So field of ethics can be considered very broad. Then ethics of philosophy, right? It deals with ethics and human interface, ethics of philosophy, and then ethics of psychology. It deals with attitude plus emotional intelligence plus the concept of free will, right? Ethics of philosophy or psychology, ethics of philosophy, ethics and human interface, ethics of psychology, artificial attitude, emotional intelligence, and free will. Even ethics of sociology. Sociology deals with even attitude, social influence, plus social issues, plus social norms also, right? And ethics of administration will be there. Administration deals with the values of civil servants, right? Governance, probity in governance, and then foundational values. These are values required for people. Even one more area we need to consider in ethics is ethics of law. What ethics of law deals with? Ethics deals with natural law plus human law. Natural law, human law, and then sixth dimension where ethics deals are moral philosophers plus leaders plus applied ethics, right? All these areas, ethics falls under a broad category. Therefore, this syllabus about ethics consists of 7 topics, consist of above mentioned, like whatever discussed above. This dimension and that the relevance is that these established standards are broad dimensions. Ethics of philosophy gives us logic-based standards. Ethics of psychology gives us free will based. Ethics of sociology gives social norms based. Ethics of administration gives values of civil servant based on standards. Ethics of law sets legal procedures standards. Even moral thinkers, they will provide their ideological based standards. That means established standards are very broad and very comprehensive. Simply because human behavior is very complex, it depends different standards in different situation. Every standard requires different values as per ethical values. This will become a basis for judging human conduct are right or wrong. Broadly, such theories can be divided into 2 categories, right? Quality of human, where it emphasizes quality. Quality, what is the quality of human? First thing, quality. Quality of human. So what do you mean by quality? Character we will discuss, even virtues, values. This is discussed by Greek philosophers. Even Indian philosophers also talk about the character and quality, such as Gautam Buddha, Vivekananda, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. They believe that human character is a main determinant of the quality of the society. Character is considered as a most important quality of the society. Even Mahatma Gandhi told, if wealth is lost, nothing is lost, right? If health is lost, health health is lost means something is lost. But when character is lost, everything is lost. Our marriage institution is built on this, character. People reside together because of these characters. The something taught by Vivekananda also. He says, society not strong because it has atomic weapons. It is good because, and it is strong because it has the people with good character. When people doesn't support whatever initiative taken by government, that means the government, society itself is not good. This is about the qualities that brings about human interface. First thing we discussed about the quality, it brings character, virtues, values, and many more things. The second perspective in theory is action of human analysis of the quality of action, right? You have the various quality and then quality of action we will discuss. Basis of analyzing the 2 views, like there are several views in analyzing the quality of action, whether it is good or not, right? Whether human functioning or not. This is based on deontology we call deontology. Basically what it says is action should be itself right. One should always speak truth. This is called action should always be right, and then one should always speak truth. This is the deontology, right? Quality of action. Consequence of action, whatever the consequences are there, it should be right. One should not speak truth to achieve the end. If something truth resulting into wrong end, one should not speak the truth, right? This is about this thing. Therefore, this normative theories, whatever we were discussing about normative theories, these normative theories broadly known as agent-based theory, agent plus action theories. So normative ethics deals with agent and action. Agent deals with human quality. Agent deals with human quality, right? And action deals with the quality of action, how their action is being performed, right? Agent theory, it focuses more on human character like virtue ethics. Agent is basically virtue ethics. We know what are all the virtue. And action theory focuses more on critical analysis of the human action, which is right or wrong. So these things, agent theory and action theory. These things, agent theory discusses action. Action theory discusses quality of human action, whether it is right or wrong. It gives a critical analysis, right? What should be the basis of judging action right or wrong? So there are other dimension in normative theories. There is, like analysis of human nature on what basis establishing the ethical standards. This have been done by social contract theorists, especially Thomas Hobbes. Even analysis of rights of individual that have been done by John Rawls. We'll discuss these things shortly. There is also analysis from ethics, from point of view. There is state and citizen relationship. Today we form the largest government. We say India is a world largest democracy. People together they came and formed the government. Why? Because people themselves can rule, right? No, they establish one person and on behalf of them they tell them to rule the country. This is state and citizen based contractarian theory. This all these things, this theory of ethics deals with human behavior from broad perspective, right? Ethics deals with broad perspective, some individual level, even groups, even society, even state, even citizen at large, citizens, and humanity at large. So basically, ethics deals with this humanity for individual, groups, society, state, and even citizens, even moral point of view also. Again, into consideration of ethical standards are established. So various theories of ethics are, we will discuss these things. First thing is virtue ethics. Quality of human character will be established. So who proposed this? This is proposed by Socrates and Aristotle plus Plato. What is the main feature of this virtue ethics? Quality of the human character. Suppose say courage, justice, temperance, wisdom. These all things comes under values of the virtue ethics. We discussed about deontology. This was proposed by Immanuel Kant. And it is based on the means, moral duty, conscience as the basis of human conduct. So we will discuss these things in detail. Just get to know about these things. Deontology proposed by Immanuel Kant. What is means based? What is end based? Means should end in itself, right? These things we will discuss. Third thing is the teleology. Teleology. This is a broader concept. There are many things in teleology, utilitarian philosophy, right? Social contractarian philosophy. Third thing, contemporary contemporary contractarian theory. Utilitarian theory is proposed by Jeremy Bentham plus John Mill. Basically, what utilitarian theory tells is you should avoid the pain, seek the pleasure, the greatest good for greatest number of people. And if we come to social contractarian theory, it was proposed by Hobbes, John Locke, and Rousseau also, right? Social contract theory, human is very selfish, right? Therefore, state should control human behavior in order to maintain the society. This is called social contractarian theory. Contemporary contractarian theory is proposed by John Rawls. Social contractarian theory, Hobbes, Locke, and Rousseau. Contemporary contractarian theory is John Rawls. He proposes theory of justice. Everyone in society, every person in the society enjoys some basic rights, right? Liberty, equality, freedom. These things we have included in our constitution also, right? We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic country, we propose the values, right? We shall hereby, in that, like, in values they will maintain liberty, equality, freedom also. These things are very important, and these values are drawn from French Revolution. So if you see these things, even there are feminist ethics are there. What should be the feminist ethics, right? Alison Jagger and Claudine Cade, they proposed ethics of care. Women's do a lot of works, right? They have not established, but these ethical thinkers, Alison Jagger and Claudine Cade, traditionally they told ethics is all about male based, but women give a lot of values such as love, affection, care, compassion, and emotional intelligence also. That's why ethics are very, very important. Individual self is about, self manage, which is based on, person, both how society sees him as individual. So this self is reflected through character. Suppose say if I am selfless, he is considered as a person with good character, right? Character is about inner quality of a person that is cultivated through life experience. Character is not built or not possessed, it is inbuilt. Rather, a person has to cultivate it, right? Build it through life experience. Persons go through and encounters many things. First time when a child is born into home, he'll be taught all moral values. From home, he will go to society. From society, he will go to schools. From schools, he goes into institutions. All these things cultivate the character. So character is built over time. Conduct is a reflection of the character. It is a stable behavior of trait. In it becomes many a time conduct and character are the same, but why ethics is said to deal with both character and conduct. Behavior. See, we were discussing about character plus conduct plus behavior, right? Behavior is reflection of this both character and conduct, right? Character plus conduct is equal to behavior. So behavior reflects both of them. So what people observe, suppose say you have good character and good conduct, these two things reflect in your behavior, and then people recognize you outside. So all these things are built by habit. Repeated reinforcement of human behavior result into habit. Suppose say every day I'm teaching you, every day I'm teaching something, this becomes habit, and this becomes like behavior of mine. So ethics is defined by taking into consideration of habit, character, conduct, and behavior. In simple way, ethics deals with human behavior. In broad sense, ethics is about study of human behavior study. Plus, this aims to understand which behavior is right or wrong. It also sets ethically standards and principles for proper behavior when human wants to behave in certain direction. So this human behavior, whether their actions right or wrong, from standards and principles point of view, they will achieve whether good or bad. It is not about teaching about good or bad. It is about chief good. Chief good means you have to help the society. It is also called Suman Bolem, right? Just remember this thing. Suman Bolem means chief good. Suppose say there is a ladder, right? This is lesser good, then higher good, heavier good, highest good. In lesser good, I may call we don't follow ethical standards. We violate some of the time, right? In higher good, we'll call some of the best politicians, good politicians, those who are not corrupt and all. Heavier good, you can consider APJ Abdul Kalam, such kind of people. In highest good, we can consider Gautam Buddha, Vivekananda, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, Bihar Ambedkar, even APJ Abdul Kalam also can come under higher good also. Wisdom, nirvana, enlightenment, all these things comes under higher good. Therefore, ethics is field of normative science. What is normative science? It deals about what should be the behavior of the human, right? This is about normative ethics that studies human behavior with aim to achieve the chief good. We have to achieve the chief good, which is known as summum bonum. The field of ethics have many branches known as descriptive ethics. One is descriptive ethics, we are discussing. Normative ethics are there, and then applied ethics are there. Even meta ethics are also there. Ethics is a simple word defined dealing with human behavior such as character and conduct, evaluation of human conduct on the basis of values, establishing the ethical standards, and it is the study of field of moral science. Ethics will be considered as much more broad and different from morality, values, laws, even religion and social norms also. How do you define morality? What do you mean by morality? Right? Morality derives its word from Greek word means mores. Mores, it means habit plus character plus conduct. It means literally ethics and morality can have the same meaning. But the term morality is defined as right or wrong aspect of the human conduct based on one's own standard. Standards of person based on family, society, culture. Right? That standards may or may not be established standards. We were discussing ethics are established standards, but morality may not be established standards. When we as a person, when we say we are moral, it is said the basis of the human behavior. When it is said a person is ethical, it is based on the established standards of behavior, right? Morality and ethics you need to basically different. Ethics are based on the standards, they becomes universal. Morality changes from place to place. Sometimes maybe be ethical, sometimes they may not be ethical. So basically ethics ethics are based on normative science that studies moral philosophy, whereas morality is about individual behavior, right? On the basis of the studies morality values of the different society. Ethics studies about objectivity, universality, impersonality, even impartialness. It is based on any individual, right? Morality is based on any individual character, culture that may not match established standards, right? In some society killing of animal is accepted, so that is morality. But ethics we don't accept. Ethics of environment clearly tells we should not harm the animals. This is moral values, right? Even in our society, Indian society, many people celebrate festivals, right? By by taking animals, by killing them. So that is considered as a moral value from their point of view, but it is not ethical. I think you understood what is about ethics and morality. Even irrespective of whether person agrees or disagrees, ethical standards such as human behavior cannot be considered ethical unless it matches standards. Suppose say I want to kill animal, I want to establish this as an ethical standard. No, it won't happen. Ethical standards are based upon these standards. So whether you believe or not, right? In moral standards, it believes from person to person. Tomorrow, one government will come and says we are declaring, holiday because tomorrow we are celebrating local festival. So and then there they will be killing a lot of animals. Suppose say there they are, suppose a government bring one scheme, right, to bring development project. There they clear forest, but as per ethical standards, these forests should not be cleared off, right? But the government want to continue anyhow, and then they will bring the agreement. This is called moral standards, right? Moral standard changes from person to person, right? To be ethical, one has to conform to the ethical standard, but to be moral, one has to conform to one's own standards of behavior. It means morality and ethics have following, like, there are three types of relations between the ethics and morality, right? First thing, what is ethical and moral, right? Human dignity, respecting to them, plus selflessness. These are the ethical and moral, right? Moral, not ethical. What do you mean by them? There is a child marriages are there. This is considered moral in some society. Banning of slaughtering of cows or all animals. This can be considered moral but not ethical. Considering Western society, go Islamic country, they'll consider Western society as a less moral, but this is not ethical also. Society against live-in relationship, there are a lot of live-in relationship cases are coming, even LGBT issue, right? IPC 370, not Article 370, IPC 370, this banned same sexual marriage, but right, LGBT is issue is also moral. Changes from society to society. In war is also moral, right? Now war is happening between Israel and Hamas. Even Hezbollah also it is happening. Now it is escalated to Iran. So this is not ethical standard. War changes from person to person, society to society, government to government. So war is also moral. Even Russia-Ukraine war also, right? Russia carrying war on Ukraine, Ukraine carrying war on Russia. This is moral from their point of view, not ethical point of view, right? So from every point of view, right? So this is the ethics. This is ethics from Venn diagram ethics, then morality. There are some things which are both ethics and moral, human dignity and selflessness, good character. But pure ethics are based on standards, pure moral values are based on their societal values. So it changes from place to place. We were discussing ethics and moral values. So we discussed about ethical but not moral, moral but not ethical. These two things we have discussed, both ethics and moral. Now we will discuss ethics. See, this is a Venn diagram. This is ethics. This is a moral value. And we discuss this thing. This is ethics and moral. Ethics, but not moral. This one, only ethics. This is only moral. Moral, but not ethics. So we discuss moral, but not ethics. Ethics, but not moral, we will discuss. What are all the values it will come? See, LGBT rights you can consider from other perspective, even universal values conflicting with moral values. Suppose say Mr. A is there one person, even then family of Mr. A. Now Mr. A has come from rural area. He has studied in highly prestigious colleges because of the talent, because of the other circumstances. Now he has become liberal. However, their family still remains conservative. Now he belongs to Hindu community. He wants to marry a girl from other country. Now, obviously, family will not accept. So there is always a conflict between ethics and moral. Even anti-cow slaughter law, anti-cow slaughtering laws has become huge issue in Uttar Pradesh, in other parts of the India also. Even conversion laws also surfacing in Uttar Pradesh. Conversion you might have seen, a lot of people have been converted from Hindu to Islam, Islam to Hindu, even Christianity also. Government to implement. You may not agree with it, but you have to implement the law. Hence, this conflicting situation comes between morality and ethical value. This is all about ethics and morality. We'll discuss what is a relation between ethics and values, right? See, values are standards of behavior. Such standards can be on the basis of individual, society, human values. Values can be different types. Individual and societal value. Suppose say individual and societal. Second, cultural and religious values. Third, universal value. Fourth, human values. Even there are positive and negative values are also there. They are based on the established standards, such as a conservative society practices many values, but they may not be universal values. There will be some positive values, negative values will be there. People have food preferences on the basis of their values. Only those values which has a universal standard in general can be considered as ethical. What are they? They are truth, peace, humanity, harmony, even non-violence, gratitude, dignity, respect, freedom, liberty, inclusive society, right? All these things are considered as universal values. Some universal values, they are also considered as universal standard of ethics. Therefore, these value becomes basis for determining ethical conduct. But all values are not ethical, and ethics is more than values, as it is a normative sense. So, values just one part of the ethics. Ethics is beyond the values. Now we'll consider another area, ethics and social norms. See, social norms are based on the society, custom tradition practiced over a period of time. These societal norms may not be as well established based upon the relational rational standards, but social, cultural, religious, other such factors. Norms also used to be equivalent to values. Values are very broad. Basically, if you see whatever values we have discussed here, they are very broad, but they can be universal and local at the same time. Societal norms, to some extent, are similar to local values. Every society has different social norms relative to each other. See, one relation between family and society, even relation between people, society, government. Here, relation between family and relatives. Sorry, relatives are here. Relation between people, society, government. Even you can consider their cultural practices also. It changes from norms. These norms, societal norms, changes from society to society. Some societal norms can be rational and objective. They will be considered as ethical, but other societal norms can be largely moral, and therefore ethics is not based on societal norms, but rather it should be said as ethics does take some aspect of the societal norms. We discuss values. We discuss many things about the values. There will be positive values, negative values, but ethics takes only few values which are having standards. The same goes with norms also, societal norms. And now we'll go with ethics and religion. Every religion teaches many things, right? See, when ethics is considered, ethics is based on the facts, rationality, logical reasoning. Therefore, it can have acceptance as the rejection when it considered to ethics. A religion is basically based on the faith. Everyone believes in God. It is based on the faith. You cannot question. Generally, faith cannot be questioned. You cannot question it. It is a limited scope for reasoning and questioning. You cannot question the religion. You need to just follow it blindly. When it considered to ethics, ethics has a rational standard, which are some extent they are universalistic. When it comes to religion, religion standards are based on particular religion. Two religious standards may conflict from each other, right? Some Islamic concept may doesn't like Hindu concept, or Hinduism concept may not be in same capacity with Islamic standard. So basically there may be conflict with religious standards also. Ethics is about broader than religion, values, even norms, societal norms. Ethics is beyond the religion. Basically ethics includes the religion, but religion itself is not ethics. Different religion preaches different values. Religious value precede emergence of concept of ethics, and therefore religion has a profound influence in ethics. Ethics cannot be separated from religion, but religion is not about ethics, right? Suppose say there is a Christianity. Christianity is one religion that teaches compassion, forgiveness, and then service towards others. If you say Jainism is one religion, it teaches peace, non-violence, and compassion. KFC, right? Buddhism, how to remember this one? Knowledge, compassion, and emotional intelligence, KEC, or KFC also. Faith also you can consider KFC, right? You can remember in that way. Buddhism. Buddhism, it teaches about middle path, search for truth. In 8 paths, there is a you need to always follow the middle path. You should not go in extremities. That's what Buddhism teaches. Even Hinduism teaches many things. Hinduism teaches about inclusivity plus Vasudhaika Kutumbam, universal brotherhood we'll call. Even Nishkan Karma, Nishkan Karma it secularism, teaches secularism, even pluralism values are also being taught by Hinduism. Ramayana, Mahabharata, Vedas, Upanishads, all these things teach us about many values, right? So, religion is also about human conduct. That is how, people should conduct by following their disciples and standards. Only then they are able to be achieve some universal objectives like nirvana. Every time you might have seen bhakti movement in medieval period. So bhakti movement always teaches about the nirvana, how to achieve nirvana. This nirvana can be achieved only through following certain standards, right? There are Tukaram was there, right? Ram, Rahim, right? Mirabai. These all peoples have taught about even many bhakti thinkers. They came across several religions. They devoted to gods. The only way to achieve devotion is to following the standards of the religion. Basically, that's what these things have been taught by the religious value. Religion has a profound impact. Suppose say this is the religion, this is the ethics and religion. There are some universal standards that follow between them, but ethics are standards. Religion are basically moral. But when we consider overall, this is the ethics, this is the religion. So religion will be confided within the ethics. However, religion has huge impact on the ethical values, right? You consider many things are there. And one more area we need to consider is ethics versus law, right? What is law? Law is defined as ordinance of reason to achieve the common good. Basically, to achieve the common good, some ordinances are being passed. So, who will pass the law? It is the courts. Now, in India, lower courts, high court, supreme court, they pass the laws. Even lawmakers, state elected people, they are also called lawmakers. They can make laws in the parliament or state legislature to ensure conduct and functioning of the people happening in proper manner, right? In general, law is made by legislator, although there are other types of law, natural law, rule of law of nature, all these things are. But in general, law is enacted by legislature. Therefore, it has a defined standards once enacted. There is a moral basis for making law by state, such as social contract, right? How law is made? Law is based on the social contract. Suppose say one thing, constitution is law. Now entire country is functioning based upon the constitution. This is law. It guides people, right? Even right to information, RTI, it is also a law, right? Therefore, provision of laws or standards which should be followed by the citizens. In a way, following law is also ethical. When a person action is legal, this action in general is also ethical as the person adhering to morality behind the law, right? Suppose say traffic rules. Traffic rules are essential for maintaining order, right? Therefore, order is moral basis for following traffic rules. But there are many such situations where action can be legal but may not be ethical. It is due to many of the factors, right? Law, whatever the law made by the government, it varies from place to place. Law made in the Pakistan, law made in Bangladesh, law made in India, you consider. So India is a secular country. Laws made are here in respect to considering all citizens, right? All citizens from all religions. When you go to Bangladesh, right? Somehow there will be laws considering all citizens. When you go to Pakistan, majorly Islamic country, all the laws are made on the basis of the like Islamic population. Rest of the community have been like ignored. That's what. See, laws can be ethical. However, these laws varies from their scope is limited. It varies from place to place, right? Even in India also, law 257 times. You might have heard about Bihar. They have issued 257 times ordinances for one law, right? This law varies from place to place. They might be misutilizing, right? Law may not provide details of the finite aspect of the human action, or exceptional human actions, or situations. Ethical standards of the society keep changing, but pace of change in law does not match with pace of change in society, right? One famous case is there, Savita case in Ireland. You can consider this one. You can search also. It is very important case basically. She was pregnant and she faced some health issue, but Ireland government, if she won't go for abortion, then she may lose her life. But as per Ireland, right? As per Ireland law, abortion is illegal there. So somehow Savita loses her life because of this. And then this is one famous case because there is a limitation in the laws enacted by the different countries. You can see LGBTQ issue, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and tweet. These issues are there persisting. Section 377. Even surrogacy also you might be knowing. This is also there is a law has been enhanced, but it varies from place to place, right? Stem cell research is one thing area, and we discussed recently GM crops also. Only GM crop allowed so far is only cotton. Now the GM crop they will generate a lot of productivity. That's what the discussion. But cotton is the only product that has been taken under GM crop. So GM crop, what are the ethical consequences? What is the impact on biodiversity? There are many things. Like law enacted on GM crops also. One area where may not be in spirit. It will be adhered in letter, but may not be in true spirit. Even right to privacy, Aadhaar Act also is considered under the law and the privacy issues. Right, case Puttaswamy versus Union of India case, they have discussed very deliberately in this matter. Even security protocols, right? Whenever we are going on the road, we will allow ambulance. Why? Because it is human consideration. Suppose say ambulance is not allowed to go, what you will do? Whether you will be punished or whether you want to save a life, these things, law it doesn't take into action. Law basically, society keeps changing, society keep evolving. However, these laws after some time you need to make a lot of amendments. If you don't make amendment within the law, then law remains the same. Then the old law will be defining the changing societal values, and then it may not be in pace with the society. Basically, what should be done when there is a conflict? Law is moral. Basically, law execution, whether it is bad or not, these things need to be considered. So, considering all these aspects, ethics, ethics is beyond the law, as we discussed. Ethics is beyond the law. Law is just one part in the ethics. Good human action is based on the reasoning and values. Law is a later development, basically towards the beginning of the modern times. Basically, therefore, values, ethics are considered broader than law, and law is guided by them, rather than ethics and values guided by law. Therefore, ethical standards of human behavior, in essence, and people should give preference when there is a conflict between ethics and law to either one. Suppose say there is a conflict between ethics and law. Ethics should be considered. Moral standards should not be considered. Law changes. However, ethical standards are the best thing. If there is again conflict, we need to consider what is the purpose of human action. What kind of action is there? What are all the circumstances? Even what is the intentions? What is the consequences? Even what are the human values? Right? Even what is the public interest being involved? All these things, all these things need to be considered before evaluating whether the law, then our action should be justified, whether it is correct or not. Right? Suppose a 2G scam was carried out during Congress era. They estimated law was continuously erroneously identified. Right? The error law was made wrong. Right? Even Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, it provides employment to local people, right? There also, scam took place. Same family. 4 to 5 people are engaged, right? Instead of giving 4 to 5 people, only 2 people provided. So these kind of issue, we might have seen many issues. Manrega, sometimes whole family is included from those who are managing Manrega scheme, and then all of them will be provided. However, from some families where 4 or 5 people are working, only just 2 or 3 people will be provided money. So this is this thing. Basically, quality of action is missing there, right? Even civil servant also, quality of action is missing there. Doctors in Ireland, if they went ahead and carried out the operation, what could have happened? They will have to face legal options. Like many a times, the law will be injustice. We might have seen Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. He broke sedition law and told the court that he himself did not do wrong. If he had done any wrong, then he can be punished. What is the he done the sedition? He went to from Sabarmati ashram to Dandi, and then there he boiled, like salt was made. So this is against sedition law. Even sedition, defamation, blasphemy. If you see in Pakistan, every time people are being took into prison based on the blasphemy. They have abused God in the name of God. They'll put those who are unwanted elements are there in the society. They will put in the jail based on the blasphemy law. So you can consider law is very limited, right? Law has very limited action on many of the things. Though ethics is broader than law, but law is essential in order to maintain the society based on the philosophy of greatest good to greatest number of people. The relation between them is very complex. On the basis of all this analysis, about different relationship, it can be concluded ethics has a broader standard that helps in different times from social norms, religious and moral values. Right? We discussed about morality. We discussed about values. We discussed about law. We discussed about religion. We discussed about societal norms. All these things will include ethics. Ethics is beyond this, right? We cannot say ethics is just a social norm, a religious norm, or law. Rather, we should say that ethics has its own established standards. Ethics, consist of human values and universal values. Ethics consist of critical thinking plus reasoning. Ethics consist of the truth. Ethics consist of the right purpose. Ethics consist of the good consequences. Even ethics consist of rule of law in good intention, right? Ethics consist of the public interest. Ethics consist of the philosophy of deontology plus teleology. Even sociology also. Conduct of human will be considered ethical depending upon the purpose of human action, circumstances, consequence. Since this purpose and circumstance differ, why there will be application of different ethical standards in different situations. For example, we say that when a person is behaving in societally good manner, socio-cultural norm will be dominant, and the scrutiny it helps in, suppose a person he resides in society, then associative norms. If a person is a businessman, then business values will dominate, right? If a person is a civil servant, right, civil services values will matter. So saying any action ethical values depends upon the many situations, right? One more example, Kumbh Mela, you might have seen. Kumbh Mela organized by government, though India is a secular country. Why? Because this value differs from people to people, right? Government giving billion packages, even in Air India case also, you see Air India, government gave billion package. Now Air India is acquired by Tata, they are running, government has no longer control over Air India. So you can consider even, but Air India has given, but not, why not Kingfisher, right? Triple talaq is unethical. Why? Because every human is born and equal. When you are issuing, you cannot be see differences. Basically, this is about how ethics changes from standard to standard, right? So basically, when we talk about ethics thinks about the human action. This human action will be considered from right or wrong thing. Right thing or wrong thing depends upon the established standards. It aims to achieve chief good. We discuss this as a Summan Bolam. We discussed about agent action theory, and these theories we will discuss more in this area. Normative theories in ethics, basically theoretical explanation of H.C. Kant, from ethical perspective. Normative theories deals with human conduct from normative perspective. What ought to be, like, how humans should conduct in a given situation. The question first posed by Greek philosopher. Since then, field of ethics is continuously evolving. Field of ethics is coming to known as a Western philosophy or contemporary philosophy, or we can call agent action theories also, right? Such theories not only deals with individual behavior, but also various dimensions of human behavior, including state-citizen relationship, such as social contractarian theory. Theories, that follows. First thing, virtue ethics. We'll discuss about all the theories now. Virtue ethics. We will discussing virtue ethics are proposed by Socrates, Plato, even Aristotle also. Beginning of the ethics origin is pressed by Socrates. Concept of the art of questioning, that is, like human should question all the surrounding through human reasoning, logic and rationality, right? He told, Socrates told an unexamined, there is a famous quote, an unexamined, right? An unexamined life is not worth living. You can see this quote given by him. See, you need to question everywhere. That's what Socrates told us, right? Humans should keep questioning, accepting and rejecting the object that are like matters of human faces. In his philosophy, Socrates talked about many issues: freedom to speak, freedom to speak. Then he talked about courage. He always told about speaking the truth, like objectivity. Fourth area, objective. You should be always objective. Don't be subjective given by the circumstances. You should consider and understand the situation. In a way, these ethical principles enhance the quality of human action, make him very virtuous. How virtue ethics are born, like which are further, standards are taken place by even Plato and Aristotle built on the Socrates area. Plato added on to the Socrates area what he told, right? Some more qualities, features, such as justice, fairness, judiciousness. He did not completely agree with Socrates' philosophy. Then he gave concept of ideal and real world, right? Knowledge comes from ideal world, but its implementation happens in the real world, right? Knowledge comes from ideal world rather than the human logicking. This concept was rejected by Aristotle. Basically, it is evolved concept. You see, virtue ethics, right? He placed this ideal world by wisdom. He called wisdom. Aristotle called ideal world as a wisdom. Aristotle is most important philosopher, and he has a huge relevance to the field of ethics. He gave detailed description for human behavior, and the main aim of the human life is eudaimonia. Eudaimonia, he told. What is eudaimonia? Happiness. He also is a teleological thinker who talks about ends, right? He consider human nature is as a positive. Human nature is positive, and when he says human, not only a political, social, but also ethical animal. He's human is a ethical animal, right? There are many things. Suppose say this is a triangle. There is a social values, social, right? Then political, then ethical. In social values, you can see you have to live in a social environment. You cannot live in the isolation. That's why human is a social. Why political? Debate and discussion. Even they want to participate in strikes and all. That's why he called a political animal. Ethical. What is ethical means, right? What is right or wrong? Human is capable of behaving ethically. That's what told by Aristotle. He want to be eudaimonia, happiness thing. From Aristotle, human is a ethical being is very important field of ethics. Human life is capable of being ethical. This is how ethics field is evolved. There are other thinkers, philosophers who consider human as a negative value. Human nature is selfish, not selfless. Like Thomas Hobbes, even Kautilya also. He also emphasized. Aristotle emphasized on doctrine of mean. What is doctrine of mean? The extreme human action should be avoided. Like it is basically kind of Buddhism path. End should be avoided. Extreme human action should be avoided. Like no action at all or harm action. Extreme level should be these aggressions should be avoided. He gave four things need to be ensured: courage plus justice plus temperance plus wisdom. Therefore, these four ethical principles in worthy ethics came to known as a quality of human action. Right? Quality of human action. In S.C. Gupta case, he was punished because of the lack of wisdom and justice. He further emphasized on five senses, human behavior on the application of these five senses. When these five senses, like courage, justice, temperance, wisdom, these are the values. When five senses correctly works, human reaches to sixth sense known as wisdom, right? For him, wisdom is the highest level of eudaimonia, that means happiness. Main aim of the human life is to achieve this wisdom. Wisdom should be achieved. Therefore, from Aristotle point of view, human character and quality, he emphasized more on human quality, right? He was not talking about the analysis of human action, but promoting quality of human action through philosophy of doctrine of mean, right? These are the five senses. Doctrine of mean is one area, and four principle of ethics. With that, if you continuously human being follows, then he can attain wisdom. Where you can see application of Aristotle's virtue ethics, right? From individual point of view, people should focus on building character, enhancing their quality of personality by following these four principles, right? It is the quality of individual, which, if summarized, will become quality of society. Law is not needed for law-abiding people. Plato says good people never need law. Bad people always face their way around the law. See, if we see criminals today, those who are in Tihar jail also, they are because of the messed up with law. This is one thing. Even in administration and governance, virtue ethics are very, very important. Courage is required. Speak against the corruption, rejecting the bribes, even advising the ministers on merit based, not just like yes sir I will do it, no sir I will do it. These kind of things need to be avoided. Even whistleblowing practice also need to be ensured. Even justice also. Administration aim for more social justice. Civil servant should aim for justice of the people. Temperance. Emotional intelligence is one of the effective behavior to deal with posting, transfer, adverse behavior. You might have seen many civil servants will be transferred several times. See, this temperance is very, very important. Finally comes, this area, wisdom. You need to, wisdom is basically beyond the integrity. You need to have the effective decision making. Your decision making capacity depends upon the wisdom, right? This H.C. Gupta case, wisdom was not applied regarding making decision of coal block allocation. There is a famous case related to H.C. Gupta. These examples you should be remembering, coal block H.C. Gupta. There, the judgment came based on this wisdom is not applied when it comes to coal block allocation, right? Aristotle emphasized on character and character of the civil servant. It is considered as most important quality. Prime Minister on Civil Servant Day in 2015 told, characters are most important virtue of the civil servants. How to build character, all these things. See, If you want to angel, they need not be governed, but if those who govern are angel, they need not be controlled, right? Those who are good at governance, we need not to control them, need not control. Those who mess up with law, they always face end up in jail, right? Jail or prisons. In a sense, what is it? Even if government people are angel, then government needed to control. Government control is required. There are certain criticism about this virtue ethics. Like happiness is criticized. Achieving the wisdom is always its happiness, but it is not, like a good thing. So doctrine of mean also is criticized on several instances. Doctrine of mean, this may be relevant in some situation, but extreme behavior is needed in sometimes. Like suppose say 6 balls, 6 sixes. This is good thing, right? In 2007 World Cup, Yuvraj Singh had hit 6 balls in 6 balls, 6 sixes. This is like doctrine of mean. This mean path need not be required. Sometimes extra aggressive action is needed. So if Pakistan is attacking in India, we are following mean path means it doesn't mean anything. We need to be aggressive at that time. Suppose if someone is coming and then attacking us, we don't need to be mean. When aggressive comes, we need to react them with aggressively. We need to teach them. That's what people have criticized him. Even humans good character, it changes from time to time. What is good behavior in a given situation may not be required good. From my point of view, that action may be good, but someone point of view it is not good. So he was criticized by many of the people. Then there are other forms of theoretical ethics came. So we'll discuss this ethical studies in detail in later classes. Thank you very much for the discussion.